A quick fun fact for you guys. I'm not sure if you guys know this or recognize this at all, but a lot of the work, a lot of the photographs that I make, I kind of look at them as being more self-portraits, right? They're my ideas, my thoughts, my experiences, my observations that I'm sharing. And the only reason I'm sharing them is because they resonate with me at some point in time, right? So sometimes the actual person in the shot isn't as important as the actual story is and its significance to me, you know? What's good, guys? It's nationally recognized and award-winning photographer Clifton Henri back with day 6, and we're talking about who and what is in the photograph for the weight we carry. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so like I said earlier, it's the person that's in the photograph isn't necessarily the star in the photograph. The person in the photograph tends to sometimes just represent Black America or youth or something along those lines, right? It's not specifically about the person that I'm photographing. It's more about the overall theme, the story, the concept and everything of the piece, So that part isn't always important, but if we dissect and break down like the props I use, the locations I use, like all these little pieces help tell the broader story. Now, descriptors or the characteristics of the person that I photographed, now that plays an important part in the piece, whether it's age, height, complexion, dive into what they're wearing, how their hair is cut, et cetera, et cetera. Like those small details definitely help tell the story. But if the kid's name is Jake, this has nothing to do with Jake personally. You know what I mean? Like he is a figurative symbol. All right, so diving into the details, right? Thank goodness for places like Etsy and Craigslist, right? Because I do a lot of my research and a lot of my sourcing of props on those two platforms, right? So Etsy, I did mad searches for like helmets, military helmets, things like that. I finally found some that I was interested in. Definitely looking for like some US-based, US military helmets. They had helmets from all over the country, right? And all over the world, rather. But I was looking for like green GI issued, typical like World War II helmets, right? Something that you would see in an old school movie or like Saving Private Ryan or Band of Brothers or something like that. Initially, I had some ideas of decorating the helmet. So writing like some little mantras or like nicknames or insignias and things like that. A deck of cards, ace of spades or something like in the hat for like good luck. Little pieces of flair, I guess, that would represent the soldier wearing it, right? So I didn't do that. I chose not to do that. One, because I didn't want to screw it up. But two, I thought having a clean slate, right, with not much history being attached to the helmet because it's a young person, right? So the young person doesn't have as many stories to tell, not much in terms of identity that has been discovered to share, right? And it's kind of a blank spot for you to place your own story as well, that so that was an important piece and something that I tinkered back and forth with. One of the things I didn't really realize until like way after the fact is the book bag, right? The backpack. Now the backpack is just like military backpack. I wanted to make sure that it was larger than the kid, larger than the young man. Like this is a full-size grown adult duffel backpack, right? And it's on like an 8-year-old. So that drastic dynamic between this heavy, oversized bag and this young person lugging the bag, definitely wanted that to be a part of the shot. But I didn't realize until afterwards, like, yeah, this was my bag, you know? Like, this is my duffel bag. This is my bag that I've been carrying around for the last decade, from country to country, from city to city. And it's carrying my weight. So my man, almost like a younger me, was carrying my bag of burdens, my 44-year-old bag of burdens were all stuffed in that bag. And I wanted that to be a part of the piece, or the concept of that to be a part of the piece, but I didn't really recognize, like, figuratively and literally, in a sense, that I passed on my bag of burdens to this younger person, and honestly didn't think twice about it, and just, kept on moving. Just an interesting fact that adds another layer to the significance to the piece, at least for myself. You know what I mean? Diving into like the selective color of the helmet too. Honestly, it's just to draw some attention to it. Draw attention to the protection piece, draw attention to the mental health piece, me sharing, the decorative mantras and things like that folks put on their helmets, and it being blank, a clean slate, a blank slate, was all deliberate into telling this story about the weight we carry. I also wanted to include him wearing a hoodie and like the whole hoodie profiling that's been happening all across the United States, especially starting off with Trayvon Martin. The boots, that's just also to play like in the military theme of things. And all right, now tomorrow's gonna be day 7, and we're gonna recap the actual day of the shoot, right? We're gonna talk about like what music was playing, how close did I get to actually achieving what I had envisioned initially, some of the struggles or things that I was trying to figure out on site. And it's always fun working with young people. They don't always do what you ask them to do. A lot of complaints, things like that, but we'll dive into that part tomorrow. I appreciate you guys for tuning in again, and I'll see you then. Peace.